Hello, brothers and sisters. So, in case you didn't know about it, the annual Cable of Globalists at the super secret Bilderberg meeting this year focused on New World Order implementation through AI. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman joined forces with key leadership from companies like Microsoft and Google last week as the secretive meeting of the Bilderberg group of global elites kicked off in Lisbon, Portugal. In 1991, whilst talking about the annual Bilderberg meeting, David Rockefeller said the following: "We are grateful to the Washington Post, the New York Times, Time Magazine, and other great publications whose directors have attended our meetings and respected their promises of discretion for almost 40 years. It would have been impossible for us to develop our plan for the world if we had been subjected to the lights of publicity during those years. But the world is now more sophisticated and prepared to march towards a world government. March. The supranational sovereignty of an intellectual elite and the world bankers is surely preferable to the national auto-determination practiced in past centuries. Artificial intelligence top the agenda as ChatGPT chief meets with Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, DeepMind head Demis Hassabis, and former Google CEO Eric Schmidt at this annual Bilderberg meeting. The tech titans were joined by political heavyweights, including former US Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmitry Kuleba, for a range of discussions spanning international relations, trade, energy, and finance. All in all, 130 participants from 23 countries attended the private meeting, similar to previous year's numbers. This year included Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla, BP Chief Bernard Looney, Total Energy CEO Patrick Pouyanné, investor Peter Thiel, and a number of EU politicians also attended. The three-day event, which ran last week from the 18th to the 21st, was shrouded in mystery, clandestine talks held behind closed doors subject to Chatham House rules, which means the identity and affiliation of the speakers are not to be disclosed. Secrecy, secrecy, secrecy. Key topics up for discussion at this meeting last week by the organizers were released as AI, top of the list, artificial intelligence, obviously, huge tool of the beast system. The banking system, number 2, because they're rebuilding the entire thing into a one world monetary system, which you can clearly see and go back on my previous news reports on this. China, because China has already tested and prepped and gone through all the groundwork for a lot of these things, banking system tied to social media, credit score, etc., etc. How does that affect everything? This is not just about China being a problem. This is about China having a lot of stuff they can use going into their new world order. Energy transition. Europe, the new Roman Empire building itself up. Fiscal challenges. India, industrial policy and trade. NATO, Russia, transnational threats. Ukraine, and then, interestingly enough, a key point of discussion for these elites, US leadership. That's interesting, isn't it? I wonder if Obama attended. But then we wouldn't know because of the Chatham House rules. So there's that. But interesting that since 1991, they've been planning and building and saying thank you to the heads, the CEOs, the directors of these media houses for keeping everything hush-hush. Why? Because most of them were Freemasons and in on it from the get-go. So the global elites working really hard in the background, in case anyone was unsure of that, to usher in and finalize the final things for the final week, for the final end of mankind. Good luck to them. I'll be at a wedding. I'll be back for the wrap-up and the victory parade and the huge war that's going to last as long as it takes my Lord to open his mouth. and then it's done. God bless. Keep looking up. Make sure you're on the right side. Shalom.